Good morning.
Good morning.
Episode 55.
55.
Feeling alive.
That's a lot of episodes.
It's a lot. It's impressive.
Like,
You're welcome to the listener. You're welcome. Still here.
Those loyal listeners, we appreciate you. Wow, look at that list.
I did take a lot of notes today. I saw you with Shannon last night.
Yes.
Or I saw you with Peter.
Gosh.
I saw Peter. I don't know if I saw Shannon.
There.
Okay, yes. I assumed.
We had a really fun game night.
Awesome. Did she give you any fact checks? Anything that we've misspoken about lately?
Think so.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Well, appreciate you, Shannon.
Listen, we do. We do. And Kelly, my friend Kelly listens. Often she'll be like, what was that show you guys mentioned? Or what was that book you talked about?
My mom, we were together yesterday, and like several times she brought up stuff that she had heard on the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, it's I kind of forget that people listen sometimes.
Totally.
It's like just kind of us talking, but there are people that know a lot about our lives because of this little thing we do here.
I did have somebody, we went to a work function for chat on Friday, and I had somebody asking about it. And I found myself struggling to describe the podcast. Like, he was like, so is it like real estate? Like, he just assumed it's real estate. And I was like,
maybe 2%. 1%.
Fourth episode, you'll hear us talk about that. But I was like, I want to just say, like, it's kind of like our therapy session. Every week we just talk about what's going on in our lives.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay, cool.
Do you find it's easy for you to talk for a long period of time with a lot of people? Like, are you just a good talker in general?
Well, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I feel like I can talk. Okay. Well. Is this about the podcast you sent me?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's a great one, actually. Yeah. So it's about conversations. I've been listening to it. Yep. I find myself, I really like groups of 3 people in general.
Oh, okay. So when you're saying talking to a lot of people, like as in one situation, would you like there to be a lot of people there?
I guess my question is, do you find it easy to hold a conversation with one other person for a long period of time?
Right.
I don't.
Or what's the alternative? Just that's it.
That's it. Okay. Well, I guess I'm saying because it's easy for me to talk to you for an hour or whatever every week. There's not many other people in my life that I can like sit down and talk to for an hour. Like
totally.
Well, then maybe not. I don't know. I really prefer groups of like 3 or 4 people so that like if there is a silence or an awkward moment, there's more people to kind of fill that gap. But with just 2 people, I struggle a bit more. Yeah. But I don't struggle in this context.
You know what?
I don't know.
Something about us.
Something about you, I guess.
But I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah. And like there's some people in my life where I'm like, oh, if it's a one-on-one, that feels like it's going to be more of an effort. Yeah. But there's definitely people, yourself included, where it's like I would have I would I don't know why my brain was like, I would go on a road trip with you. But it was like, I would feel so comfortable, like sitting in a car.
What if this is the episode that we just like can't talk to each other?
It's weird.
We can't think of things to talk about.
In my head, I was like a situation where you'd be forced to talk to somebody for a long time. And that was a road trip. And I thought that sounds funny that I'm like,
we haven't taken a road trip together.
No.
I don't take many road trips.
I love a good road trip.
I actually do too. I don't mind long drives. Yeah. Like we've done a few drives down to LA or even when we came back from Texas with the 2 dogs, like that was a long drive.
That's a far away place.
That wasn't great. That was a long drive, but we made it happen.
Do you drive on those, or do you like to be the passenger princess?
I'm a control freak.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, Brian will drive if I'm like needing to do something on my phone, like do work emails or something. But for the most part, I drive. I get car sick if I'm not driving.
Same. Yeah. Wait. I don't know if I knew that about you.
So are you the driver?
Yes.
Chad is the passenger?
No, so in longer road trips, he will drive, but even sometimes in the passenger seat, I will get sick. Huh. Especially now in electric vehicles. Yeah. Like if I'm in a Tesla or if sometimes Chad's not used to driving our car. So sometimes even just around town, he's driving ours and I'm like, I feel sick. So I'm often driving.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of surprising. I feel like it feels like a 3 thing to drive.
Yeah. He likes to drive for the longer trips.
Okay.
Yeah. But
where were we? So how are you?
How was your weekend? No, yeah, I know. How are you?
I'm well. I realized today as I was just like preparing, we very rarely in these episodes actually say the words, how was your weekend?
I know.
Usually we're just like, let's get into it. So how was your weekend?
Exactly. And when I was telling the guy about our podcast, I was like, it originally started with us being like, oh, we have this like these different seasons of life that we're in and these different roles that we play in. So like we can contrast and compare like what our weekends are like. And then often we're like, same. It's like I also watched Severance and went in the sauna.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
a great
we end
weekend.
up doing a lot of the same.
It's a great
things,
weekend.
But,
How was your Friday?
Okay, Friday was actually great. Last week, I will say, I was real tired. Okay. Like, speaking of conversations.
Yeah.
So I had to, and I know you asked about Friday, and I'm like, speaking of the entirety of last week, I spoke at the school council. We do a devotions every time. Okay. And I led that, the last one. And I was like nervous about that. Wednesday was fine. Thursday, I did a presentation to Shannon and Peter's class, like their online thing. And so that was like a 45-minute me talking to middle schoolers.
It was online.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Via Zoom.
Was it, were you watching, could you see them?
No, I mean, I could see a few squares. I had only like, on Zoom, you can
see like 4 squares.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so often Shannon or Peter would like say something. So their squares would pop up. So I couldn't see the students.
Yeah.
There's a chat box that had like 87 messages. So they were writing in that. Okay. It was on leadership. So I took do you remember when we did that conference with SALT? Uh-huh. And we went and we did that workshop with the gal from Almond Roca. Yeah. We did that assessment on leadership. Yeah. I did that with them.
Nice.
And then talked about some like habits of leaders. And
that's cool.
It was good. I did feel a little bit like I in retrospect, I wish I would have like thought more about these are middle school, high school students and getting more engagement from them. I felt like this is maybe more. Anyways, it didn't matter. It was fine.
I've done a few talks in classes and I 100% prefer in person versus online. Because online you can't see the reactions. Right. Like I don't know. Right. It feels like you're just talking for 45 minutes without like. It's hard to get the engagement. Yeah.
So that's why I was like, in retrospect, I wish I had thought more of like ways to engage with them. Like what are other things I could ask? But, and then that night we had Wari and I had to speak on stage, which I don't love doing that. Yeah. Which might be surprising. I don't know. There's things that I enjoy doing in front of people, but like that for me was really intimidating. So all of that to say, I get to Friday and I'm just exhausted. I feel like I've been like, it's been a long week. I'm tired. And it was Chad's graduation for his academy that he's been leading. Okay. So, so I went to the actual graduation and then afterwards we went out to dinner with people from his department. Okay. And it ended up being a really good time. Like I ended up really enjoying the evening and the whole ceremony of the graduation. Actually, like I was like a little emotional. It's such a special ceremony that they do. And they put all this effort into like collecting video footage of the whole academy. And they have all these special traditions that they do. And this was the first academy that I went to their graduation that I had met them before they started. Okay. And I had spoken to the significant others. Nice. And I'd actually had coffee with one of the wives. And since then, and so it was like I felt a little more attached to this group. That's cool. I have like nothing to do.
How many people graduate?
So there was 12 in this academy, but only 4 going to West Pierce. So there's 2 departments that were in this academy and only 4 moving on to
4 out of 12 move on.
No, sorry. There's 2 departments that have recruits in this academy. Gotcha. So East Pierce and West Pierce. Only 4 of them were going to West Pierce, which is Chad's department. Okay. So yeah. So
where was the ceremony at?
It was at a place in Lakewood. Okay. Next to, it's on Steilacoom Boulevard. I think it's a technical college there. And they have like a conference event space.
Is it Clover Park?
I don't actually know. Do you know where Steilacoom Boulevard is? Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen Station 21? They have like a training tower out front.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Is it near like Mount Tahoma High School?
Yeah.
I think that's Clover Park Technical College is right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's like, if you said, like, oh, is it the da center? I'd be like, yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know. Off the top of my head.
Near the Mattress Ranch? You know where that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep going.
All right.
And then we went to Hops and Drops.
Nice.
Afterwards.
I've never been there.
Listen. You should try it.
When your friend asked you what we talk about, did you say we give very honest reviews of local businesses? We've single-handedly taken down 5 local businesses.
I'll tell you that. No. So yeah, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else significant from that. Not really. No.
Did Chad speak at that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
He is the MC, so he does the whole thing.
Wow. Was he nervous for that?
Well, a little bit. He's done it enough times where he's like pretty used to it, but it's still like an intimidating thing. I mean, you're speaking in front of, and it's like, one of my things, like you're having to say all these different names. Like that's the hardest in my brain, is to like pronounce words.
Yeah.
So he emceed. He always has a classic joke where he like starts off by being like, I just want to address the elephant in the room. You know,
yes, I'm from Yakima.
Funny. Yeah. This one is from Wenatchee. I guess there's like quite a few families from Wenatchee. So he like,
I've heard him speak a number of times, and he's pulled out that joke every time. It's a cloud pleaser.
Yeah, skin move, you know.
What is your reaction when he does that? Are you rolling your eyes?
You know, I'm just like,
You don't do a courtesy laugh.
I do. I mean, I was clapping. I was the only one clapping. No, it was great. He did an awesome job. It's really interesting. He sounds very serious when he's presenting.
Okay.
Like, I think he's just, maybe that is his nerves coming out, but he did sound like very official. And the other thing that caught me off guard is like, then I'm watching the video, because it's like, we go about our lives, and I've never visited him at work. I don't know exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
When we talk at home and recap our days, it always feels like he's at a desk, like he's doing stuff. And then it was fun to watch the video, and like he's in his whole bunker gear, and he's like, you can see he's like instructing people, and he's like just in it. And I was like, whoa, this is like, you have a whole job and career that like you do every day that I don't even see or know about.
Totally.
You know,
it
would be similar to him coming here and us doing like training or something, and him coming in like watching that. Like, he's never seen me do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it is funny to be like, oh yeah, like this is you.
That is an interesting thing about significant others' jobs. It's like, yes, we debrief at the end of the day and we talk about work a bit, and every couple is probably different, but like you can never tell your partner everything that happened during the day. And it's like the same thing when I visited Brian's campus for the first time. It was like, wow, it's so weird seeing where you are
element,
when you come to work. Like, it's just such a different thing, that like work is one of the biggest parts of our lives, and our partner is like the most important person in our lives. And those two things don't really like mix very often, weirdly.
Yeah. I know. I feel like, I don't know if you've seen those, like, it's like reels or whatever. And it's like PowerPoints on like what we do for our job. I felt like last week, because I also sitting in on Shannon and Peter's class and like hearing them interact with their students and just kind of how they run their class. I was like, oh, I'm getting like a behind the scenes look of like my friends' lives this week.
Totally.
So anyways, that was Friday. And the girls ended up going to my parents' house. So they did a sleepover there. So it was kind of nice. We like felt like we got home at like 10:30, 11. We felt like, look at us. It's late.
You didn't go out to another bar afterwards?
We did not. I was like I said, I had such a long week that by the time we got to that, I was like real struggle bus.
Yeah.
So
ready to go to bed.
Yeah. Okay. How about you? How was Friday?
We had a really busy weekend, which was great. All fun things. I'm feeling a little tired today.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I had a good recovery period this weekend, really, but it's okay. Thankfully this week is a little bit lighter work wise than last week was, so I can kind of have a little bit. I can hopefully should get home around like 5 p.m. today, and just lay on the couch for a few hours. That's the goal.
I love it.
So Friday we went to a housewarming party in Edmonds for some friends who bought a house there.
Okay. Did you help them buy the house?
I did not help them buy this one. I helped them buy the last one. This one they received some family help, and so they work with their family's real estate agent.
Perfect.
Basically.
Okay.
Beautiful house in Edmonds.
Yeah.
You've been up to Edmonds, right?
I have. I think I went to Edmonds for Moto Pizza.
Yeah. Okay. That's
it's on the water. It's on Edmonds by the water.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
We had Moto
really
Pizza for
cute
dinner.
Downtown area.
Super cute. Yeah. I think their house is like a 5-minute drive from the downtown area.
Okay.
So they brought Moto.
How do you know them?
These are friends from college.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're Mark was in Brian's fraternity, and they've just become good friends after college. Did housewarming, and then we did a little game night as well. There we brought telestrations.
Oh yeah,
have you played that?
Yes.
So it was the after dark version, which is like some kind of like
little naughty
clues or whatever words.
So that's the one where you like draw a picture and then you flip it, and they have to write a word, and then you draw that. Right? Is that?
It's like telephone for drawing.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
The funny thing was that, we have people stay at our house to watch TV, and it's a lot of random people that we don't really know.
Yeah.
Someone must have played that game at some point because we were going through the booklets and they didn't erase the stuff.
Yeah.
And we're like, who are like Marty was one of the names. And we're like, who the heck is Marty? Like, and like it was very funny seeing other people we don't know, their drawings and their thing, and they got real risque with it.
That's hilarious.
Like no judgment, but it was just funny seeing other people's pictures.
Yeah. You're like, Marty,
what is going on, Marty? Come on. So that was Friday night. There were probably like 8 or 9 people there, and beautiful house.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun seeing like friends get to that. This will be their like house they have kids in, and so they have 4 bedrooms for their future kids and stuff. And so it was a great Friday night.
Yeah. My brain totally just went someplace else really quick.
Okay.
So Chad's reading this book, The Psychology of Money.
Okay.
Have you heard of that?
No.
And he was saying it's really interesting. I guess the whole premise. Oof, I'm really taking a guess at this, by the way. I just like realize I'm going to speak confidently, but don't really know what I'm saying. It's not so much. It's more about like the impact money has on you and how you feel about it. And so, he was saying one of the things the book was referencing was like how large our homes have gotten and how previously like the largest was like a 900 square foot home and you would share one bathroom.
Yeah.
And now it's more common that you may have more bathrooms than you do bodies in your home.
Yeah.
And just how we've gotten this like almost not extravagant. I mean, we've grown, but just that concept of like now we live in these like average is 2,400 square feet.
Yeah.
And just
it's definitely like a Western culture thing. Yeah. Like even in Europe and Asia, like they have much smaller. I guess Western culture includes Europe. I don't know. Whatever.
You know what? You could say anything about geography, and I'd be like that.
In a lot of other countries around the world, they live in much smaller spaces. Right. They drive much smaller cars. Yeah. Like our cars are way bigger than any other countries in the world. Like very few other countries have these giant pickup trucks and these SUVs with 3 rows, and it's like that's very unusual. That? I don't know. America is like the country.
Go bigger.
Bigger is better in America.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's a saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Friday. Great little friend time. This was a good weekend of like catching up with people in our lives. Nice. Friday was kind of one friend group. Yeah. Saturday was another friend group, and Sunday was some family time.
Oh, nice.
So, okay. How was your Saturday?
So Saturday, the girls had slept over at my parents' house. So we wake up on Saturday morning and we're like, we are going to just veg. Like chatted. So before graduation, they have family night. Okay. And so that's where families are invited to come and they watch them do all their skills. So a bunch of like hose work and ladders and all this stuff. It's super fun, but it's just, that is Chad's whole week is like all the logistics of planning these things, planning the events, working on speeches. So he was equally drained on Saturday morning. So we were like, we're just going to binge a show. We ordered breakfast burritos to be delivered. Like we were like so lazy.
That's awesome. Where did you order breakfast burritos from?
Oh gosh, I couldn't even tell you. And honestly, it's probably better because they weren't great. Okay. I really wanted, have you ever had Brewer's Row breakfast burritos?
I've been there. I haven't had their breakfast burritos. I've had their nachos and they're very, very good.
PSA. The carne asada breakfast burrito from Brewer's Row
sounds great.
Is like top tier. There is no other breakfast burrito that compares in my book. It has an avocado crema with it that you would love.
Yeah.
So
that sounds great.
I couldn't find anything like that, to be honest. We found something. It was fine. It was filling, and it got delivered to my door. So that's like the best. But we ended up watching the Gabby Petito documentary on Netflix. Have you heard? No. She was an influencer who was trying to do this van lifestyle with her boyfriend, and he ends up killing her, and then he ends up killing himself. It was wild, and like it's just so crazy. I mean, and there's like controversy because she's this like really attractive white girl, and her going missing gets all this attention, and people are like, there's so many other people that are missing that don't get the same attention. She was also an influencer, so it's almost like she had already had herself out there knowing a lot of people, but it was just a crazy story. And like when she goes missing initially, he is still alive, and he comes back home, and his parents are they lawyer up. They like her parents are asking like, do you know where she is? Do you know anything? And they're like refusing to talk to them.
Oh my gosh.
So a lot of it is just like, I think what was hard for me was like, obviously it's a really sad story, but like also like now like all of your family has been impacted, like that you withholding truth, now your grandkids from another sibling down there, like that's going to impact that. Like it's just so tragic how like people were just not willing to help each other.
Yeah.
And now the repercussions of that to me is like just so devastating. So anyways, so we binged that on Saturday.
It's like a 3-part series.
Yep. I literally think it's 3 episodes. And then we were feeling a little, then you get to that place where you're on the couch, and we always talk about how it's like, it sounds so good to keep your feet up and just relax. But then you get to a place where you're like, this is too long.
Yeah.
And now we feel gross.
100%.
So we kind of hit that mark, and the girls had called and were like, we're ready to go home. So we ended up going to my parents' house. And when we got there, the girls were playing, and my parents were like, oh, do you want to stay and play a game? So we ended up playing dominoes with them, which was really fun. We haven't done that forever. So we did dominoes.
Mexican train dominoes. Nice.
It's like I did win by quite a bit.
Nice.
Actually, it wasn't quite. At the very end, my mom started making a good comeback, but I had a really good lead for a while.
Yeah. I love winning.
It's the best.
It really is.
It's so fun. And then that evening we got home with the girls and we were like, okay, let's do family night. We ended up pulling out an air mattress and doing like a movie. Oh, we finished Beast Games.
Okay.
Which I've shared before.
You've shared. I'm not going to watch it, but.
Don't. It's not worth I don't know if it's worth anybody's time. The conclusion was like, I was happy with the guy who won.
Okay.
What's wild is their whole thing was they were competing for $5 million.
Okay.
On the last episode, spoiler alert, if you're watching Beast Games, you haven't seen the last episode, stop here. On the last episode, he has a guy, one of the contestants, he offers for them to flip a coin. If they land on whatever they call, they will add an additional $5 million to the game.
Oh my gosh.
So this guy's like, but here's the thing. If he didn't land it, he was going to be kicked off.
Wow.
So he either gets it and has the potential to win $10 million, or he flips it and he's out of the game.
Wow.
So this one guy, and he offered it to everybody that was playing. Like anybody could flip the coin if you are willing to risk it. And one guy did. He was like, I did a coin toss earlier in the season and I won it. I'm feeling confident. So he did it, flipped it correctly.
Really?
Added 5 to the pot.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And then it's crazy. And then Chad was saying he had read an article. Apparently in California, taxes are so high on things like this that even though one guy won $10 million, he realistically walked away with like 65% of it.
Okay.
Not the whole 100%. Like 45 went to, or so what would that be? 55%. 45% is like tax.
Yeah.
Like that is so much.
Crazy.
So it's a good thing they doubled it because they actually walked away with what they initially thought they were going to get.
So did Mr. Beast fund this? Is this his money?
That's how he acts on the show, that it's his money. So, because like when the guy was doing the coin toss, Mr. Beast starts freaking out and he was like, I didn't think anybody would take it. Oh my gosh, he's taking $5 more million from me. Like, so he makes it sound like it's his money.
Okay.
But I'm like, it's how he has so much.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He's probably the wealthiest influence. Well, not, I think Jake and Logan Paul are the wealthiest influencers is what I've heard. But I think Mr. Beast is up there.
I mean, and the production of this thing was out of control. Like, I'm like, this must have been astronomical.
Crazy.
So anyways, so Saturday night we did a family sleepover in the living room and watched Mr. Beast, and then we started to watch Daddy's Home with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg.
Nice.
And I fell asleep in that. So.
Do you fall asleep on the blow-up mattress?
I slept on the couch.
Okay.
So we had the couch, we have that fairly large L-shaped couch, and then Pipes had the air mattress in front of that, and she slept there.
Did everybody fall asleep in the living room?
Chad Erskine did not.
Okay.
He was not a game player, and Allie in the morning was very upset with him. She
really?
Was like, sleepover. You did stuff. So yeah, he was like, I'm not sleeping on the couch. Anyways, that was Saturday.
Love it. Saturday morning, we woke up around probably 8, and one of my favorite times of the week is like weekend chill morning, like couch time, with our coffee, doing the New York Times games, the Wordle, the Connections, the Daily Mini.
Yes.
Just like, because I usually do this by myself throughout the week. So weekends are the one time when we do them together. Just hang out. Like Stevie's there with us, and that's one of the best times of the week.
I love it.
Started off Saturday morning doing that, and then did a 10 a.m. workout class.
Nice.
And then did a lot of just like house stuff on Saturday. Yeah. Did some cleaning, laundry, got groceries, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
we told you we're doing a wedding in Hawaii this August, I think.
I know you have a lot of weddings coming up. I've lost track a little bit on where they're all at.
So many weddings. This one, it's in Hawaii, so we booked our like accommodations for that trip, which will be great.
Oh my gosh.
We did some wedding planning as well.
Okay.
Ow, just hurt my finger.
Uh-oh.
Okay, we're good.
Have we heard anything from our contract? Like, has our manager...
I have signed the contract.
Okay.
But I have not done the deposit because I've reached out asking where to send the money, and they have not gotten back to me.
Okay.
So
did you get your questions answered?
No.
Oh, you just signed it.
What the guy recommended to me was just sign the contract.
I remember that.
So I signed the contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an ongoing saga. But he did reach out to me on Wednesday, I think, and he said, "Hey, I'm available tomorrow if you want to jump on a call and I can answer any questions."
Perfect.
And I said, and Thursday was like the one day last week when I had zero time available. So I'm like, I can't do tomorrow, but I'm free all day Friday for a call. And he's like, okay, I'll reach out on Friday. He didn't reach out. I reached out Friday afternoon, like, hey, did you want to hop on a call today? Still no response. So then I think on Sunday I texted him. I was just like, hey, just want to let you know I did sign the contract. I just need to know where to send the deposit to.
Okay.
And just still no response.
And like a little nerve-wracking because the other gentleman told you don't bother this guy too much, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So you're like trying to
I'm walking on eggshells. I'm just
nervous.
I am, because I'm like, we are really moving forward with some details. Yeah. There's like, oh my gosh, I feel like we're having the same conversation we had last week, but just bear with me here. Like, photographer is ready to go, but I don't want to sign that contract until I have the venue locked down.
And you have to do a deposit for him?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's also like a whole deposit. Starting to like coordinate with caterers and all this different stuff. And it's just like, I just so ready to, and we need to send out invites. Like, the wedding is less than 9 months away and it's very close to Thanksgiving, and that's like a peak time people travel. So I'm like, I really want to, so we're meeting. So let me rewind. We did wedding planning. We sent a very long email to our moms with like, here's an update on everything we're doing. Yeah. Here's like are
they your wedding planners essentially?
They're helping with with some details and stuff. Yeah. Okay. So we just want to run stuff by them. So we sent them like the schedule events. We sent them our guest list, including like our for sure list, and then our big list of maybes, like trying to get their input on that. Yeah. So sent that on Saturday, and then we're going to meet with them next Saturday to like finalize some stuff. Okay. So
you know what you could do is a save the date, where you don't put the detail of like location aside from Palm Springs. So it's like, you know, like people can start booking flights and just saying like venue details to be determined or something.
We did think about that. Yeah. The issue is that if we don't go with this venue, we likely won't do that weekend.
Oh.
Yeah. The only reason we're doing that specific weekend is because
you were going to get a discount or something.
We're getting a discount.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were originally looking in like March of next year. So anyway, and we actually are going a little different on the invites. Okay. So we're texting invites.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
We're not doing
Welcome
formal.
To 2025.
Yes. We're not doing formal mailed invites. Yeah. We're texting them. We'll include the link to RSVP within there.
Cute.
It'll take you right to our wedding website. Yeah. So, we're trying to, there's like
essentially you're going green.
Going green. Yeah.
Going green.
There's a few areas, a few parts of our wedding that we are doing very like normal for a wedding. Yeah. There's a lot of areas that we're like trying to rethink things. Yeah. We had a very long conversation, Brian and I did on, I don't know if I've already told you this. I don't think so. About chairs. Okay. So, we need to rent chairs. The venue does not provide chairs. Yeah. We're estimating around 100 people. Okay. I had no idea how expensive it was to rent chairs. Yeah. It's a lot.
Is it? Like what's a ballpark?
It's probably gonna be about $10 a chair. So probably about $1,000.
BYOC.
Yeah. So it's about $1,000 just for chairs.
Yeah.
The issue is that there's the ceremony space is not close to the dinner space. They're like on the property. They're kind of in two separate areas.
Yeah.
So there are a few options. There's kind of 3 different ways we could do it. Yeah. Option number 1, which I was suggesting, is do a standing ceremony where people are not sitting during the ceremony. Do kind of a shorter thing. Yeah. Brian did not like that. Not a fan of that idea. Okay. I was Googling it. I found quite a few examples of standing ceremonies. People have done that. We're not doing that. Option number 2 is like have like staff move the chairs between the ceremony and the reception. Correct. Right. Which we're trying to not really have a lot of staff at this wedding. Okay. Like we'll have our caterer, we'll have a couple people helping out, but it's not realistic that 1 or 2 people could move 100 chairs, most likely. So, well, maybe with the thing. So the option we're probably going to do, which take it or leave it, is we're probably going to say after the ceremony, bring your chair with you.
Oh.
grab your chair, fold it up, bring it with you over to the dinner space.
Yeah.
And that'll be your chair.
And find like first come, first serve at the dinner space.
Yes. I don't think we're going to do assigned seats for dinner.
Yeah.
So bring your chair. And
the sooner you get your chair to the best table, the better, you know?
So, yeah. So that is one of the many details we're working through.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
The hope is to send invites next weekend. So like finalize quite a few things this week. Next Saturday or Sunday, send out invites.
I mean, 9 months, that feels like a lot of time to send an invite out.
We've received most of the save dates. The dates we've received are like 9 to 10 months beforehand. And the main thing, like if it was any other weekend, I wouldn't be as concerned, but it's right around Thanksgiving. Yeah. So I just want to like get in there before people start making their like Thanksgiving plans. So
let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Are you going to have Stevie in the wedding?
We are probably not going to have Stevie in the wedding.
Big mistake. Missed opportunity.
We could. We are not set on that. We're not supposed to have dogs on the property. So that would be, we'd have to
really starting to question this property now.
Yeah, that's one area that is actually a question. That was one of the questions that we asked of the owner. Yeah. And he hasn't responded. So
Okay.
So it's a maybe.
She is our child.
Yes. We're not sure if we'll have her down there with us or not is the main thing. Okay. So TBD on that.
Are you guys thinking like honeymoon? Like, are you going to go straight from wedding?
We're not going to go straight from wedding. Okay. No, we'll probably do like a couple nights just by ourselves in Palm Springs after the wedding. And then we're thinking an Italy honeymoon, which Italy probably is like a good spring/summer destination. So
fun.
A few months later. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was Saturday. We did house stuff, gym, house stuff, planning, and then we went to a birthday party.
Okay.
So our friend Jarrett turned something. I don't actually know, 28, I think.
Happy birthday, Jarrett.
And he's in a cool like apartment building that has like a great like common area party room. Yeah. So we used that and had probably 15-20 people there.
Fun.
And they did Costco pizza, which is great. So I had pizza 3 days in a row this weekend, which
Love
was awesome. And then we played a game called 2 Rooms and a Boom.
Oh,
have you heard of that?
No, but that sounds fun.
I don't know if I want to like give too much details about the game on here because it's I don't want to get on some government watch list. But the premise of the game is you're in 2 teams.
Yep.
There's the red team and the blue team.
Yeah.
There's basically a president.
Okay.
And there's a bomb.
Oh, I see now.
The blue teams. There's two teams and you're in 2 rooms.
Yeah.
The teams are split between the rooms. So like one room has each room has a mix of red team and blue team members.
Physically in different rooms.
Rooms.
Got it.
The goal of the blue team is that at the end of the game, the president is not in the same room as the bomb.
Okay.
The goal of the red team is at the end of the game, the president and the bomb are in the same room. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, and it's like 3 rounds, like 3 minutes each. It goes pretty quick.
Okay.
And it's a lot of just like trying to figure out who is who and like it's like a lot of like lying and deception and it's very fun.
Huh.
It's a great.
It feels like you'd have to have a lot of people to play this game.
I think you want minimum like 8 people.
Yeah.
You can have like up to like 100 people.
Wow.
It's like you could have a huge group. So we're like, this could kind of be a fun like game to play at our wedding potentially.
Oh, I love it.
So it's very fun. I had played once before and Brian's like talked about playing again for years. Yeah. And we finally made it happen and
love it.
It was very fun.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
That's awesome.
That was Saturday. Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
How was your Sunday?
Sunday was good. Sunday morning, also kind of a slow start. We did like a little sauna and I did a cold dip. I did not plunge all the way. I did go all the way under, but it was so cold.
Yeah. I was like, okay. I saw you, Chad, and Piper in the sauna.
Pipes joined us in the sauna. No, Allie was not into it. But yeah, that was a nice way to start. And then I think I told you this before. We started going to our like noon service at church. So it's a little bit later, but it's kind of nice because we have like a slow start to the morning. Often we'll like exercise, we'll kind of clean up the house, and then we get out of the house and go to church and we have lunch. And then just like the rest of the day is a little bit more like chill, relaxing time.
Nice.
So yesterday after church, we got our groceries from Trader Joe's, came home, and then we got together with Shannon's family and Kelly's family, and we played a game called Blockbuster.
Okay.
So if you're familiar with the old rental Blockbuster video spot.
When I was in Bend a few weeks ago, we drove by the original or the one remaining Blockbuster.
That's the only one.
Yeah.
Yes. have you visited Blockbuster? Like, were you?
Yes.
That was part of
that was our, there was Hollywood Video and Blockbuster around us. Blockbuster was our go-to.
Right. Okay.
We'd go there often. We'd get I have memories growing up. We'd watch like the series like Alias or 24 or Lost. And before streaming. So you'd rent basically a season, I think. And then you'd go return it. You'd rent the next season. It was
100%.
It was good times.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I am of the generation where growing up in California, we would go and we'd actually rent the VCR to bring the videos home.
Really?
Like that was how long. It wasn't Blockbuster. It was like a little mom and pop video rental store.
You'd rent the VCR.
And then you'd connect it to your TV and then you'd get your movie and you'd play it. Like,
really?
That. It's concerning you're so shocked about.
I've never heard of renting a VCR. Is it because it was expensive to buy a VCR?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Huh. I know. I'm old, Austin.
And then so how much you rent it, like for a week at a time or something? Or
I just feel like we'd rent it. Must have been for the weekend. I actually don't remember the details aside from like going and like taking the giant VCR box out with you.
Yeah. Can I share a fun fact real quick?
Please.
You know Redbox?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever use Redbox?
Yes.
The dollar rental.
Yeah.
I fact check me, Shannon, please, but I'm 99% sure this is right. They went out of business. They went bankrupt. However, I could be wrong. Do you know?
Well, I just feel like in front of Walgreens, I still see them.
That's because they never came and picked them up. They're all still there. They basically, the company went bankrupt and they had no more money, and they would have had to pay tens and maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars to send people around
all over the country.
Get all their boxes, figure out what to do with them, dispose of them. So they just left these red boxes, all these stores all around the country. So you still see them places, but I'm pretty sure they're not operational anymore. But they're still there. So it's up to the individual like grocery stores to dispose of them if they want to.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fascinating, actually.
Yeah.
Because I wonder too, like would Redbox be able to like turn off the like ability to rent from there? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
interesting.
If you go to try to rent it, would it still work?
I don't know.
I think we should try it.
Should we try it?
We should try it.
Okay, next is our homework.
I don't have. Do you have a DVD player?
No.
Me neither.
No.
Isn't that weird?
This is weird.
Like I went through a season where I had to rent a VCR.
Yeah.
Then we had it where it's like automatic. All of your devices came with that. Now I don't even have a way to play a DVD.
And now stuff's in color.
Isn't that even more shocking?
Well, I remember Blu-ray was such a thing for a while. Like everyone's trying to get you to convert to Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Scam.
What even difference did it make? All that to say, Blockbuster the board game was super fun. A little bit like that celebrity.
I have one more thing.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
No, I love it.
Did you know that Blockbuster tried to acquire, or Netflix tried to get acquired by Blockbuster in its early days for like $10 million? Like not a lot for the scale of the company today. And Blockbuster like turned down the acquisition offer.
They're like,
for like $10 million.
People will never want to not come in here and get videos.
And Blockbuster never did anything innovative to try to like get themselves digital. Like the world is obviously going in that direction.
Right.
And they like refused to innovate.
And it's like, do you think that was a mistake, or do you think like, let it just be what it was? You know,
maybe so. But they had the opportunity to buy Netflix for a pretty good deal, and they turned it down. So Blockbuster the game. Sorry.
Well, all that to say, we were obviously reminiscing about like going back and renting videos, and just like there was no better feeling than like a Friday night and you going to Blockbuster and perusing the aisles. I would get Sour Patch watermelon gummies. Those were my go-to.
Yeah.
And, you know, that was like part of the fun was picking out your movie.
Yeah.
Now you just like, it's all at your disposal. Like what we were talking about as friends last night was just like our kids and how it's like, they have no concept of what that's like to go and peruse and pick out a fun movie.
Yeah.
It's just on your couch now.
Yeah.
Streaming. But okay.
Have you seen on like TikTok, you're on TikTok, on social media, like the POV AI generated videos? You know what I'm talking about?
I mean, no.
There's one that are like, you are a pyramid builder in Egypt, and it like shows somebody waking up in the morning and going to like build the pyramids.
Oh, funny.
It's like one of them's like you're waking up in London during the Black Plague, and it's just like this super depressing.
And is one Blockbuster?
No, one of them is like you're like an 80s you grew up in the United States in the 80s or the 90s, and it shows like kind of the very nostalgic feeling vibes of like, you're a kid in the 80s, you're riding your bike to the park, you're playing video games, you're getting pizza, you're going to the movies, you're going to the arcade, you're going to the mall, like these like kind of simple things that are just like being with people. And it's like our phones are so centric to society now.
It's crazy.
It's like it's obviously some of those things still happen, but it's just like there's this vibe of just like a simpler life that we had back then that is just like missing from our society today.
I'm wondering if there will be generations in the future that like rebel against our technology tendencies and change. But another like point that the author of that book, Psychology of Money, made was how back in the day before cell phones, you would go to work and you would work 8 to 5. And then you would go home and there was no way of getting a hold of you. You did not continue working at home. You were always done. And just that fascination of like nowadays, like we're never not a step away from work. Like we are, whether it's calling about an issue or emailing about an issue or something, we are always still connected. And how that is tricky, like trying to get your mind and create these boundaries of like, okay, no, when I am home, I'm home. So Chad was even saying like, does he get a different work phone? So like questions that have to do with work just stay on that phone, just thinking through like, how do you go back to that mentality of
separation,
life and separation?
Growing up, we go to Mexico for family vacations, and this was before, internet existed and stuff, but no cell phones. So my dad would call back. He'd go to a payphone near a hotel, like every 2 to 3 days. He'd call back home to, I think, Bill, who was like his kind of partner in the business, and he'd check in on things and see how everything was going. But that was it. Like he was able to actually unplug and disconnect while on vacation. Whereas now it's like, you're accessible everywhere all the time.
That was, I think, our last trip to South Africa. We went on a safari. Like the first day we got there, we went to this game farm, and the next couple days, that's what we were doing. And I remember having like a literal like soul reset there because we were waking up in the morning. We were out in nature. We did not have our phones. Maybe we'd have our phones take some pictures or video, but we were like, it just felt like we were back to like really basics. And with the time difference, like even if I did get an email or something, it was like not the same time that I would be awake. And so I remember recognizing then of like, oh, it felt so good. Like I was like, I feel so at peace. I feel so just like present. And I think a lot of it was because I just was out in nature away from technology. Anyways, back to Blockbuster.
I really pride myself on getting back to people quickly and on having good communication. But that comes at a detriment of me feeling like I can't disconnect. Like I got a call I got a text from a client, which is fine, but it was like, I don't know, yesterday evening. And a Sunday evening, and I was unplugged for the night, but I got this text saying, hey, are you free for a call? And I was like, okay, so I did it. I was fine. It was a 5-minute call. We figured it out, worked through it. But it's like just that is a challenge of our modern society.
I was talking to a gal yesterday, and because last week, part of the conversation is actually at our Bible study. Your mom was at the table. Part of the conversation was about our knowledge of things. Like you feel like so torn to know everything about all things. And it's like impossible. And it just kind of got us on this conversation of like, there's so much happening. And I err on the side of like, I don't know enough about anything. And almost to the point where I'm like, I should probably be a responsible citizen and do a little research. But all that to say, the one gal next to me, she was saying like, I feel guilty. I will say, sorry for the delayed response or sorry for the delay. And it was maybe an hour. Like, you're like, that is wild that we think if it's not an immediate answer, that we are A, needing to apologize, and B, that is just how our mind is. So
it's crazy.
Anyways, all that to say,
finish your Blockbuster. Fun game.
It was was so fun. Okay, so have you ever played it?
No.
Okay. So what it is you're two teams, and so to start each round, you do like a head to head. So that will be a category. So like one was superhero movies.
Okay.
And so if you and I were head to head, we would have 15 seconds each to name a superhero movie.
Okay.
So I'd be like Batman, you Superman, Spider-Man, and we go back and forth until one of us couldn't answer.
Okay.
And then whoever wins that gets 6 cards that all have movie titles on them.
Okay.
They get to pick 3 for themselves, and then they give the other 3 to the other side.
Fun. Oh, yeah.
And then what you do is you categorize each movie. You can do how you're going to get your team to guess it. So one way is to give one word.
Okay.
Another way is to do a quote. And then the last way is to act it out or direct it.
Gotcha.
So you have to think of the 3 movies. Which one can I give them one word hint?
Yeah. Which
one could I do a quote or describing some of the movie?
Yeah.
And then which one could I act out? And then you get your teammates to guess based on that.
Okay. That's a lot of thinking.
It is. And like some of it you think, oh yeah, I'll give them one word, or I'll give them, like last night I took a video of Peter. He was trying to get the guys to guess Mulan. And he was trying so many, I mean, it was so comical because like us girls, I feel like we knew it. The first quote he gave, they had to do like 4 rounds before these guys were even remotely close. But it was really fun. And boys won one round, we won another. So we're waiting for the next time.
Okay, nice. That's fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I love a game.
Yeah.
Games are great.
It was nice. We did it, and I loved it so much because we were like, let's get together like 3 or 4, like early afternoon. We'll have our beverages. Like Shannon greeted us with espresso martinis. We're like, awesome. We'll have dinner at like 5.
Yeah.
We probably ate closer to like 4:35 p.m. And then we were out of there by like 7:30. I was like, this is living. Like in my head, I was like, this was the perfect night of like hang out early, have fun, have dinner, and then we're home by 8.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
That is great. Both of our Friday and Saturday night activities were like 7 p.m. events.
Okay.
That didn't end till like midnight. So both nights we get home so late and we're just so tired.
That is a long time.
That's a long time. I love being home by 7.
You should say like, hey guys, should we consider starting this at 3 p.m.?
Yes, I know. on a Friday.
Okay, tell me about your Sunday.
Okay, Sunday we so for Christmas this year, I think I told you we did like activity experience-based gifts rather than physical gifts for like the big family gifts. Brian and I's gift to our family, or my family, was an Ocean 5 family day.
I remember that.
So we did that on Sunday, yesterday.
Fun.
So we did laser tag, which have you done their laser tag?
Not at Ocean's 5.
It's amazing.
I love a good laser tag.
You should do Ocean 5 laser tag. It is very, very fun. It is actually, that'd be a fun team event.
Yeah.
It is great. There's 2 floors.
Okay.
It's like huge.
Yeah.
You get a workout. I was sweating.
I don't want to be sweaty.
You don't have to. I mean, you don't have to get as into it as I did, but it was very fun. I think we did 4 rounds. I was in the top 3 all 4 rounds, which I felt good about.
Well done.
In one of the rounds. And it was great. So it was my
Did you have a code name? What's your
Mine was Unk.
Unk. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Family. Denise and I played at not round 1. Odyssey 1.
Is that in Tacoma?
Yes. Okay. And like I think we were Maverick and Goose or something.
Nice. That's fun.
We had so much fun.
Yeah. It's great. I kind of forget about laser tag.
Dominated on our children.
It's a great activity.
Yeah.
And then we did bowling after that, the duck pin bowling.
Yeah. Oh, the duck pin.
It's so hard.
It is almost impossible.
Yeah. I'm a much bigger fan of regular bowling.
Yeah, same.
Brian beat me, which is unusual for bowling. Usually I was in a bowling league growing up, so.
That's right. I know. I was just trying to remember when we went to Thanksgiving this year.
Yeah.
You dominated.
What can I say? I like winning.
Right. That is correct. Okay.
So yeah, it was great. We did laser tag bowling, got some food to our lane.
Nice.
And
I love that about Ocean's 5.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah.
Great. That building is very impressive.
Yes.
My family, as you know, working in the real estate business, having a venue that we run, we're like, there's a very good chance this place is losing money. I really think that.
Really?
Even though they're so busy, doing great,
yeah,
the monthly cost to maintain that place has got to be hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Like huge. Like the building, just the utilities alone.
Yeah.
There's staff. They have to have 50 people that work there.
Right.
Like,
because they have a full-on restaurant.
Restaurant, like in kind of like different area. There's a coffee shop. There's like the bar area. Yep. That's an expensive business to run.
Yeah.
And we spent a few $100s yesterday between the different things.
Venue. Yeah. Like when we go, even bowling, I was like, oh, that was like $100, or like the arcade.
Yeah.
That thing will drain you dry.
It will. Yeah. So you spent, there's like, I'm just curious to see their P&L. Yeah. Like I'm very interested. Very interested.
Business. I want to see their P&L.
Even like their build out costs, like that place had got to cost like, I don't know, 7 to 10 million to build.
Have you heard that it's built on like, I want to say ant farm, but I know that's not right. It's
ant
like,
farm?
Yeah, I know that this is so far from it. No, it's like there's something built on like it's worms, or it's something like decomposing. I don't know. There's something about the land it's built on that is really unique.
Oh,
I'm gonna do some research. Okay, I'll bring it back next episode.
So Blockbuster, or no, Redbox and the ant
I'm going to go test a Redbox, and I'm going to find what Ocean's 5 is built on.
Sweet.
There is something unique about their building.
Okay. Well, all I have to say, very cool
great
place. Highly recommend it. They might be struggling. I don't know. So go support them.
Go support them. Yeah, exactly. Take my girls and do some laser tag.
It's very fun. I would love to go there more often. We got home earlier than anticipated. I got home like at 4-ish.
Nice.
I took a nap.
Yeah.
It's like a 45-minute nap.
I'll say a 4 p.m. nap makes me nervous.
I fell asleep like a baby that night.
Good.
No issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
And then watched a few episodes of Severance. We're almost caught up. I think we have one left to catch up on.
Okay.
Are you caught up?
No, I've kind of gotten out of it. I know.
What got you out of it?
It was like other things started to come up.
Okay.
And I started watching those, and it's taken my attention 100%. Paradise.
Paradise is also great.
I've really gotten back into Traders.
Okay. So reality TV's type stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just not into reality TV.
New Love is Blind is out.
I'm not into it. Interesting. It's okay. We can have different shows we watch.
Yeah. Okay.
We still need to watch White Lotus.
Have you started it?
Have not started yet.
Okay.
Have you?
No.
Okay.
I don't have a way to watch it.
Okay. We need to figure out a time to watch it.
No.
I don't know when.
Can we just like save up a couple? We just like.
There's 2 out right now. We haven't watched either one yet.
Okay.
The challenge is we need to catch up on Severance, hopefully tonight.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'm home super late. Wednesday Survivor airs.
It's a busy week.
A lot going on. So we will let you know as soon as possible.
Keep us posted.
We'll give you an idea of a time to watch it together.
Okay. I'm trying to think like how we could do that.
Yeah, I know. Logistically. I wish we lived closer.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. We will, but yeah.
I'll text you.
Okay.
That's it. That was my weekend.
Amazing.
Anything else?
Any other notes? How are we doing?
We're at 52 minutes. We should probably bring it home here.
That's fine. Okay,
yeah.
We'll
have some homework. Thanks, everybody.
Got a lot of research to do.
Episode 55.
In the books. All right.
See you later. Bye.